All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to this presentation. Today we're going to talk about how to predictably attract high-end clients to your business without creating endless content, screwing around on social media, or any hard selling, or any other lame stuff like that. And I'm going to teach you this by showing you the three-phase system, which turns cold strangers into clients, and how to sell your services without being a pushy weirdo. So yeah, get ready. It's going to be some good stuff. Here's a extremely brief introduction for me. My name is Ben Byrne. I am the creator of the three-phase client acquisition system. And for the past 3 years, I've been helping dozens of businesses get more clients using direct response, copywriting, and sales funnels. And that's really what led me down this path. So here's precisely what you're going to learn during this presentation. We're going to be covering how you can attract customers with hype-free advertising so you can focus on growing your business, and how to follow up with prospects without being pushy or weird so you can eventually work with them and you're not really going to burn out your list. And also how to position your offer so it calls out to your ideal client and gets them interested in working with you. So this is kind of like, we call it dog whistle copy, and I'll get into this in a bit. You'll also learn how to attract high-paying clients even if you're not an authority or big brand yet. So a lot of people kind of have a lot of misconceptions about this, and we're going to cover how to actually do this. And how to sell your high-end services on the phone, even if you're completely afraid of selling. And how to how to create this entire system quickly and easily without tech headaches. And here's why this is important to you right now. Most high-end client acquisition strategies we learned are dead wrong. You don't need a value ladder to sell high services. So if you're familiar with Russell Brunson and .com secrets and stuff, he says first you should sell like the $10 tripwire, and then you sell like the $27 manual or whatever, and then you sell the one-time upsell for $197 for the membership, and then finally at the very end you ask if they would like, hey, would you actually like me to help you solve this problem and pay me like $2,000 or whatever. You don't need any of that, okay? And you don't need to use high pressure sales tactics. In this training, I'm actually going to give you my script for closing sales, and it's super simple. You'll love it. I call it the no pressure sales conversation. And most importantly, you don't need to screw around in Facebook groups all day to get clients. You can do that and you might get some clients, but this is it's like a waste of time. And this way you're going to have more control over how many clients you get every month. And finally, you don't need crazy and expensive, confusing software either. So I'll keep it super simple what you need. So maybe you're asking, hey, is this for me? Am I in the right spot? So if you're a coach, consultant, or professional service provider of any kind, and you want a reliable stream of clients, this is definitely for you. You're in the right place. And if you're tired of just chasing down prospects and want to attract them to you instead, this is for you. And if you want a client acquisition system that works around the clock for you, this is definitely for you. This is going to be really cool for you. And if you want to be certain of how much income you'll make every month, this month, next month, 6 months from now, this is 100% for you. And if you want to attract only the best clients and just work with your most ideal client, this is for you. And if you have months where you just don't know where your next client's coming from and you want to fix it, then again, this is for sure for you. And if you're worried about lowering your price because of your competition, yeah, you're in the right place, okay? So there's a few house rules here. So now, if you're a fake expert, I define fake experts as people who, you kind of read a lot of books and you talk a lot, but you don't actually get results for your clients, and you're probably on the wrong training. So I would just encourage you to just go ahead and just leave right now. And this is not like a do nothing kind of get paid situation. This actually, you're actually going to have to do work here. You're going to have to set up the system, and you also have to do the work for your clients. So it's not like a get rich quick scheme. And yeah, no, it's not a get rich quick at all. Okay. So, but there's awesome opportunities, which I'm about to get into. So does this sound familiar? You tried running some ads to your business, but nothing happened. I know exactly how you feel. This used to happen to me all the time, and I felt the same friggin' it's the same. It sucks. It sucks. Okay, so I'll just tell you a quick story here. I call this entrepreneurship the weird way. So both of my parents are entrepreneurs, and I've always kind of wanted to start my own business, but I had no idea how. And this was a few years back. I ended up actually moving across the country after graduating engineering, and I got into door-to-door sales. So I was definitely a rebel without a clue. This is what led me to discover copywriting and marketing, just because selling in person and door-to-door was such a terrible experience for me. It was just the worst. And I ended up moving back home, and I was like, okay, I think I can do this copywriting thing. I'm now a freelance copywriter / marketing consultant, and okay, I'm ready for clients now. And of course, nobody understood what that was. I mean, people have heard of marketing before, but I'm from a small town here in the East Coast of Canada. So in those first years, it was rough. Like I ended up buying a few get-rich-quick schemes myself. I won't name names here, but I wasted a lot of money on this stuff, and nothing really helped. And I thought maybe I'll just go on Facebook groups and LinkedIn, message people, and just provide value and stuff to get clients. And it kind of worked a little bit, but no. And I'll just tell you, I tried it all. I did I did direct mail, I did cold emails, I went door to door, flyers. And I wrote a ton of blog posts on my blog, benburnmedia.com. I made YouTube videos. I did daily Facebook videos, Facebook Lives. I cold called. I handed out flyers again. I wrote daily emails, and I grew a little list. Like everything you probably, have been thinking of doing to get clients, I've tried it. And of course, I made a value ladder funnel for getting clients based on the stuff I learned from good old buddy Russell Brunson, a digital marketer. And I even wrote this book here, which is pretty awesome. Because after all, the book is the best way to become an authority. That's what we're all told. That's what we're taught. And yeah, so I was, okay, well, obviously I have to write a book. So I made that book, Introverted Selling Secrets. It may be true. Maybe that is one of the good ways to become an authority, but is it the best way to get clients? Absolutely not. It might be like the slowest way to get clients. And I did have a bit of initial success. Kind of worked. I attracted some clients here and there, but the ones I got were often a pain in the butt. They were kind of like, no offense to them, but they just kind of did, they were like at the bottom of the barrel, I guess. They were just people who only want to pay, like a couple bucks an hour, or like, $20 here, $30 here. And, it sucked. It was tough. And, I had to chase them down constantly, and getting them to pay me what I was worth was pretty much impossible. And getting them to actually pay me what the work I've done for them. And it kind of made me needy, which is the worst part. When I actually finally got a new prospect in, I didn't have that constant stream of prospects. I didn't have a system dialed in that brought me those people. And what that did is, like, when I got somebody on the phone, I'd end up dropping my price, and my God, the person just, I don't know, they could probably tell that I just kind of needed this to happen. And yeah, it was just my biggest headache, because I had no reliable way to get the type of clients I want to work with, which is people who get great results for their clients, who are already advertising at full momentum, who have integrity. These are the people who I want to work with, and I was not attracting them. And it got worse. This is kind of like the bottom line of it all is I ended up blowing all my money on Facebook ads. I was trying to convert people from my book to becoming a client, and that didn't work for me very well. And my girlfriend at the time, actually kind of sucks talking about this. I actually didn't, I was trying to debating putting this in here, but yeah, she couldn't handle the stress and my unpredictable income, and she left me. I thought I was an entrepreneur. I was like, hey, I'm freelancing, I'm making money, and she ended up leaving, and that sucked. It really sucked. And I basically had a list of 34 people. I had basically no reputation. A few people liked me, my mom and dad, and not much money. So it made no sense, because as what, I can really, I don't know what's going on. I'm able to actually get results over my clients. I worked in over a dozen niches. Everything from local businesses to golf to fitness to, I just list them all, but I was able to get results, and I was like, well, why is this not working for me? And then one day it finally changed. I decided to study and invest in one proven mentor rather than just constantly dabble with 100 different strategies, He or she had to have a proven track record. This is what I was going for, and I decided to commit to following just one path and ignoring all the others, just focusing on one thing which has been proven to work, and then ignoring everything else until it actually works. And it was tough at first, and I invested money I didn't have to learn how to create this system for myself, which could attract clients through paid ads, because I was told, hey, if you can't pay money to get a new client, you don't have a business. You actually just have an expensive and time-consuming hobby. Oh, sorry, my computer's probably just going to start popping stuff up. So I apologize in advance. And anyway, I committed to following my coach's teachings to the letter. No distractions, no shiny objects, no entrepreneurial ADD, which it's hard. I understand if you see people doing different methods to get clients, you're like, oh, maybe I should try this, or maybe I should try that. It was tough, but it actually worked, and it actually worked up really well. And this is how I ended up developing this 5-part system I'm about to share with you now. And the best part is, I don't have to keep wasting time with the wrong type of people. And it puts you in a position of power with your prospects. So instead of you kind of cold emailing them or something like that, you going to them, they're coming to you, they're already pre-sold, pre-qualified, and they're looking to work with you. That's the goal. And you're in total control of how many leads you want to attract, and therefore how much income you make. Because what I found was, if you're in a client business, you can tell how much money you're going to make just by, okay, how many strategy sessions am I having this week? How many people am I talking to? How many offers am I making? And it really just makes it all crystal clear. It helps you focus on what matters most. Generating highly qualified leads. So people who are your ideal client, who are indoctrinated. I like to call it indoctrinated towards you. They know who you are. They like you. They trust you. They're familiar with you. And most of all, they know you can help them. And it helps you focus on what matters most is also getting on sales calls. So I'll just kind of back up a bit. People focus on all the wrong things, blogging, blah, blah, blah. I'll just name them off, like email lists, really what's going to make you the money is generating leads and sales calls, getting on the sales calls, making offers, and enrolling new clients. That's it, right? And then really delivering great results for your clients is what is really your number one focus, what it should be. But all this stuff, it just led me to develop this 5-part system. So here it is, the 5 pillars of a client acquisition system. So the first part is the target market plus offer match. And, this is like the foundation. Everything, people try to skip this part a lot, I find, their niche, their target market, and getting the offer that really calls out to them. But it's so important, and we're going to cover how to do this in this training. And next is, I call it the value messaging sequence. And I call this it's kind of like teaching to sell. So you're giving value to people, you're training people, you're giving them, you're kind of solving their problem before they even get to you. And this is what's really kind of like indoctrinating. It's like, as bad as that word sounds. I should really come up with a cool word for that. But the third part is the 3-phase client acquisition campaign. And this is really cool because it's based on, there's 3 types of clients. You have warm, cold, and hot, right? So it's going to take people who have no idea who you are and take them through your different phases of this campaign until they're super, they're just ready to work with you. They know who you are, they know you can help them, they know what your price is, and everything's golden. These people are the easiest people to close as clients, and this system is designed to just kind of funnel them towards that goal, I guess. And then the fourth part is a no pressure sales conversation. Again, I kind of mentioned this a bit earlier, but this is just an easy script you follow, that I'll just give you. You don't have to pressure people to sell. It's all just a series of questions. They seem like normal questions, but they're really not. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, but I'll explain it all. Finally, fulfillment, back-end, and scale. That's how you really grow your client business. So these 5 steps. So you're going to get a lot. So before we jump into that, I just like to take a few minutes to ask you, why are you here right now? So what are your goals? What specifically do you want to accomplish in your business? So this could be your monthly income goals. So I strongly suggest, if you have a pen and paper right next to you, and then write down your monthly income goals right now, and it doesn't matter what they are. So for everyone, everyone could be different. For some people, it might be $2,000 a month. For others, it might be 100,000. Others might be $1 million. So it doesn't matter. Just write them down. And then what are your lifestyle goals? Like what do you actually want to get out of your business? Because not a lot of people actually think about this stuff. I find it's really important to start focusing on, like, what do you want? Do you want a vacation every quarter? Do you want to have a luxury condo? I don't know. What are your lifestyle goals? Do you want to have the laptop lifestyle where you're moving from city to city? Write that stuff down right now. Write them down. Do it. The slide says do it, so you have to do it. Okay? Now, once you have that down, I want you to write down your reasons why you want to achieve those goals. And again, there's no wrong answer here. A lot of people I talk to, they want just more freedom in their life. They want to know exactly how many clients they'll have, and they just want the certainty of knowing, okay, I'm going to work with, I have 10 new leads coming in. That means I'm going to close, whatever it is, $15,000 in sales this week, and I have 10 new, it's just that's what they want. But anyway, write down your reasons why, and just keep them. We're going to come back to them, okay? So anyway, let's just get right into it. This is good stuff. The target market plus offer match. Okay, so let's just get some clarity for you. So who do you actually want to work with? Okay, what service will you offer them? Why are they the best choice for your time? And how much do you want to charge? So these are 4 questions I always start with people who come to me. And a lot of people just say, oh, I kind of want to work with anyone. I want to work. I find people are so hesitant to pick just a niche that it really limits them as far as how far they grow in their business. So let's just get a bit more clear on the who. So who do you want to work with? Are they visible prospects or invisible? So if we're talking about a visible prospect, that's someone you can actually say you can target. You can find a list of them. You can target them on Facebook. Visible prospect would be like an accountant. Invisible prospect would be someone with anxiety, for example. So if they're invisible, that doesn't matter, but it's helpful if you just think of this stuff beforehand. So another question I ask is, who has the biggest need for your services right now? So you might be able to help gym owners, realtors, and dentists, but which one do you get the best results for? And I think that's actually my next slide. But which one do you think has the biggest problem which you can solve? Because that's really going to affect your whole market. Again, who do you like working with? So, for example, you might find that you get paid more from working with realtors, for example, but you are super passionate about dogs or something. So, there's really no wrong answer here, because you can actually make good money with basically any niche, which we'll get into. Finally, this question is important. Who can you deliver the best results to, the best outcome for? I think I'll just move right on. But the best results, that's really what we're getting paid for, right? The best outcome, because everybody, they want to kind of escape where they're at and get to a new spot, I guess. I'll explain this a bit more in the value messaging systems, so I'm not just rambling right now. So what service will you offer them? So if you have a lot of services right now, I see this all the time with certain businesses. They'll have all their packages, social media marketing, for example, I do Facebook ads and Google and email marketing, blah, blah, blah. So once you figure out what the best results you can get for them are, you ask yourself, okay, which of my services would get them that result? this is really the key to growing a service business, is limiting how many services you actually offer and making sure the services you provide give the best results for your clients. So if you can do 1 million things, what are the top 3 that you can do that will get the results? And then the key to actually growing your service business, and we're going to get into this more at the very end of this presentation, but the key is basically making your service systematic so you can kind of outsource it if you're doing done for you services right now. Anyway, which offer will give them the best results? Again, this kind of just ties right into it, what I just said. And yeah, just write down your top 3 services. So maybe it's Facebook ads, copywriting, and email marketing. Or I don't know. Depends what you do. Maybe it's maybe you're like a fitness trainer and you teach people how to. I don't know. I'm not going to get into this right now, but just write them down, okay? And finally, when you're thinking of your price, how valuable is that end result to your client's life in financial terms and in emotional terms? So, let's just take a small business, so if you're helping small businesses grow to get more clients, how valuable is that result to their life? Well, that can be very valuable. So if their business is on the verge of bankruptcy, that person who owns that business they're basically in trauma, so they have a lot of pressure on them. They're not only financial but emotional. They're on a ton of emotional pressure. They're not getting enough clients in the door. They're not getting enough sales. Maybe they're doubting themselves. Maybe their family's doubting them. Maybe that voice in the back of their head which told them, hey, you shouldn't start a business because 9 out of 10 fail. Maybe that voice is just like blaring at them, and like how valuable would it be to be able to deliver them clients, just like basically clients whenever they want here. So just think about that. And why are they the best choice for your time? Okay, because you can help a ton of people, and time is the only resource we can't get back. So I think about this a lot because there's a lot of different people, like different types of businesses that I can help personally, and I have to think like, what if for me to work with someone, it has to be like a no-brainer for me that I'm going to be able to get them results, and yeah, because Dean Jackson, he has this question. He's a famous marketer from the I Love Marketing podcast. He has this question: what if you only got paid when they got the results? So if you think like that, which client, which type of client would you work with? Would it be a no-brainer for you to work with? So it's going to be different for everybody. And yeah, okay, I'm just repeating myself. Okay, moving on. So how much do you want to charge? So again, don't look at what your competitors are charging because it's totally irrelevant. Most people charge by the hour. They charge by, oh my God, everyone has different pricing things. You should always charge by the outcome. And for example, there are copywriters, there are copywriters who write a sales letter for $500 and struggle to sell it. And then there are other ones who charge $100,000 and they're booked solid for like a year. You can't get on their schedule. So what's the difference? It's really just thinking there's a few things that go into it, but what you should be focusing on is how valuable is the end result that you're delivering to your client's life? And more importantly, how confident are you in getting that result for them? Because that is what's going to, your confidence and your certainty in yourself is what's going to affect whether or not you can command the price you want, okay? So we're talking about high end here, and I consider high end anything over $3,000, I guess. So, take a sip of tea here. So now that we know the who, what do you got to say to get them interested? Okay? So this is where the value messaging sequence comes into play. So there's 3 magic questions. What do they want the most? Why do they want it? And what are their main reasons for not buying? So what do they want the most? Your client acquisition, I can't say that word, acquisition system is ultimately about them and what they want. It's not your service. So that's a big mistake I see. Your messaging is all about how you deliver services or your credibility or this and that and the other thing. And it's not what people care about. So, figuring out what they want and where they want to get to and what desired outcome they want is going to give you the overall theme of your messaging. So, for example, most of my target audience, they want predictable leads and sales. So that's what a lot of my marketing is about. That's what I do. So here's how you create your value messaging system. So you basically write a happy face on one side, on the right side, and a frowny face like this on the left. So you think, where is your client right now? Okay, they're at the no client side, and that's on the frowny face. And then where they want to be is lots of clients, that. And then, okay, cool. So you draw a line between them. You draw the little thingies here, whatever you call them, rectangles. Let's go call them that. And then this is how we teach the sell. Okay, so we think about all the steps, between no clients to lots of clients. And I learned this from Frank Kern, and Frank Kern is a genius. Good old Frank. So this works, guys. This just works. So let's just say you're way on the right side here, and yeah. So sorry, my cat's meowing at me. So I should not have recorded this thing at home. Anyway, moving on. So we start off, okay, well, first of all, if you want to get from no clients to happy clients, or lots of clients, you got to figure out who you want as a client. Then you got to figure out what's your offer. Or, sometimes you flip that. But then you got to figure out, okay, what's your messaging? And as fate would have it, this is actually where we are right now in the presentation. What a coincidence. But you just basically teach them this stuff. Okay? So let's move into why do they want it. So I'm sure you've heard the phrase features and benefits before, right? If you're in sales, you for sure have. If you're in marketing, I'm sure you have. So benefits are the emotional drivers behind your offer. And it's basically thinking, what will your service mean for your client's life? So if you think back to, I told you to write down all your reasons why. And the reason why I did that, so if you think about that, okay, that's all your reasons why. So maybe it's more freedom, more security. And yeah, so what does that mean? That's your reasons why. Those are your emotional drivers, by the way. Those are really important to just list out and think about whenever you're not feeling unmotivated. But more importantly, your prospect will have them. So how you figure out these emotional drivers is you ask them, why do you want more clients? And they might tell you, I want more clients so I can make more money. And it's okay, well, why is that? And then they'll tell you the emotional driver part is the second part of that question. So they'll say, I want to make more money so I can provide for my family. So then you know that their emotional driver is providing for their family. So this is a few questions. If you do enough research and ask enough people, you'll probably come across a few emotional drivers that are common across your whole niche. So again, most of my target audience, they want freedom and certainty. Freedom to, they don't want to work at a shitty job they hate, and they want certainty of how much income they're going to make, and certainty in their business and life. Okay? This part, it powers the copy behind the whole client acquisition system. So it helps to think in terms of situations, right? So a few slides back, I showed you the teaching to sell framework, where those are two situations. So you think if there are no clients, they want to escape from that. They don't want to get to a place where what most people buy because they're buying their way out of something. They're not buying, more clients. They just don't want to get, they want to get out of the terrible spot of just not having clients, because there's all kinds of negative feelings like that. So think in terms of situations that they want to escape from and they want to get to. And this will make your messaging so simple, guys. Like, it'll write itself. And as wow, it's like I didn't rehearse this presentation at all, but okay. Yeah, this will like write your copy by itself. Finally, why would they say no? So this is critical. Again, most marketers, they try to gloss over objections, right? So, oh yeah, if I just get them pumped up enough, they'll buy. But that usually backfires. So the fact is, the majority of your prospects will have objections. They do have them. So if you create the sequence right, you get to answer most of these objections before you ever get to a sales conversation. So it's important to have your marketing machine set up so that it answers these objections way before they ever even get to the sales call. So here's an important note. This is not it's not to be confused with a goodwill sequence, because if you're familiar with that, it's basically where you just give them value, but you don't make an offer. So I call there will be a Godfather offer at the end of each message. So the Godfather offer, if you're familiar with the Godfather, is, make them an offer you can't refuse. I'll get to that in a minute. So it's, there's a happy medium between pure pitch and only value. So some people think you should do only value, and then pitch. And then other people think you should just do only pitches in every message, like, hey, like, how come you're not a client yet? Just bombarding them. So this way you're kind of giving them a bit of value, and then you're asking if they would like to take the next step with each message in this value messaging sequence. And you only deliver helpful information, and you make an offer to work with you, as I just said. It's super simple, guys. It's great. And it gets better. This is the 3-phase client acquisition campaign. Sorry, my throat is just getting super dry here. So the 3-phase smart client acquisition campaign. So the big breakthrough here is different messages for different temperatures of prospects. So there are 3 different types of prospects and campaigns to reach them: cold, warm, and hot. So you probably already have a list of warm and hot prospects. And if you don't have a list, well, you probably already have a lot of people on your social media who know you, who like you, who might already be, who might be good candidates for your service. So these people would go into your hot and warm categories. But the cool part about this system is it actually, it actually separates them. And the point of it is it warms them all up, but it sends different messages to them. So if they're in their warm system, it'll take them from warm to hot. If they're in cold, it'll go cold, warm, and hot. Unless they just automatically become a client, and then it just stops. But it's kind of cool. So let's just start with the cold prospect campaign before I get too nerdy on you guys. I'm going to try to keep it high level here. And this is the holy grail of advertising. So the most critical part of the system is the ability to turn cold strangers into clients through ads. So, most people just haven't figured this out. Like, if they put out an ad, nothing happens, and then they're like, well, why didn't it work? Well, just because they don't have a system. So I call it a cold indoctrination campaign. So this is going to build a relationship with my prospects, and it gets them to trust me by giving them great value before I ever ask them for money. And basically what I'm doing is, this is what I'm doing. I'm just building a relationship with my people. I'm giving them awesome stuff. And then at the end, I'm like, hey, if you want me to help you with this, I'd be delighted to. And a lot of them say yes. So this is often a mix of lead magnets. If you're familiar with internet marketing terms, it's a mix of lead magnets, webinars, video sales letters or VSLs, email sequences, and indoctrination sequences, which are just basically videos of you, doing the objection handling kind of before your main presentation. So here's what a cold campaign sequence looks like. So, you have your traffic. So someone comes from an ad or whatever it is, and they opt in, and there should be yes arrows there. So if they opt in, they'll go to your indoctrination sequence. This is very high-tech graphics, by the way, everyone. So if they don't go for your indoctrination sequence, you basically send them a click sequence, which is emails. So you basically just ask them, hey, like, check out this video because it's really going to help. So your indoctrination sequence can be many things. It can be a webinar, it can be videos, it can be emails, but you just send it to them, and then you send, if they don't go for it, you send them email stuff. I'm going to try not to make this too confusing, but if they don't, so in the indoctrination sequence, what you do is you ask, hey, would you like my help? You know, I call it like a conversion event. So that was like a sales call, a strategy session, a consultation. And if they say no, it goes to the no requesting of the conversation. And you keep basically sending them different messages until they either request one or it goes into the next campaign. So it goes into the warm campaign. And then, if they apply, if they don't apply, then it goes into the warm campaign. Or, in the awesome case that it does work, they become a client right from cold traffic. And that happens from time to time. Often it doesn't, though. This is why we have the 3 parts. So the trick to making it work is, you want to create your indoctrination sequence beforehand. This is your objections that your clients are facing, the reasons why, and just helping them. It's being cool to them. So choose the best traffic source for your business. Could be Facebook ads. Majority of businesses, Facebook ads is a great one. Maybe it's direct mail. Maybe it is Google, And then, teach to sell using the value messaging sequence again, which is what we've been covering. And make your Godfather offer at the end of each message. And, I didn't get into the Godfather offer yet, and that's my bad because I meant to put it before this, but we're going to get to it in a second. And I put here, create multiple modalities to ensure you reach the most amount of clients. And what that simply means is, you think of a modality, so there's a written sales letter is in one modality, it's reading, right? And then a video sales letter has 2 modalities, or a video sales letter in a webinar has 2 modalities. So it's reading and video, and actually, I guess 3. So, and audio. So you can also do podcasts, I guess. But, some people don't like reading, so they want to watch a video. Some people don't watch a video, so they want to read. So it's just helpful if you set these up so you get the most amount of people. So the cold campaign, it does the heavy lifting of authority building and trust creation for the rest of your system. So that's really its purpose. It isn't the cold campaign. If it turns people into a client, it's a bonus, guys. So don't really expect too much of it. The idea is to build that trust, that bond. So, so that's why we get to the warm prospect campaign here. So this this campaign, it takes people from your social media, email, and from cold advertising, or actually from your warm advertising. So if you're using Facebook, you can target people who already know you, and there's different ways to do that, which I'm not going to really cover, but we're not going for completely cold strangers here. So the goal of the warming campaign is to keep providing value until they either become a client or they move on to the next phase of this campaign, which is the hot phase. And again, it's usually a mix of videos, emails, and video sales letters. So here's what it looks like. So they're either coming from your list or a traffic source, and you give them a teaser offer, and you basically, when they click it, if they opt in for that, they'll go to your special offer, and this is basically just offering to help them for free. It's your Godfather offer, and I'll get into that in a minute. And if they apply, great. If they don't, you just send more value until they get into the next campaign, which I forgot to put in here, which is all good. Sorry. The warm campaign continues to build our relationship with the client and warm them up while making friendly offers. We're not beating them over the head with crazy countdown sequences and fake scarcity and stuff. We're just being cool to them, and we're showing them we can help them by actually helping them. But again, since not everybody will become a client, that's fine, and that's why we have the hot prospect campaign. So your hot campaign takes your hottest prospects, your hottest as in they know you the most. They might not be physically attractive, And it uses a very simple invisible email sequence to engage them and get them on a call. And the goal of the hot campaign is to keep a continual stream of clients booking with you. And these people, they understand your offer, they know your price, and they pretty much want to work with you by now. It should be, it's very low key offers that make these people clients. And it's all emails. It's actually all emails and a phone call at the end. So here's what it would be like. So hey, if you have it, this is to your lookalike audience, is basically this traffic source, or your custom conversion audience. So people who have been to your website and they've seen your stuff, and you basically send them an email or you send them an ad with a description of the offer. And if they say, yeah, show me more, you basically just it's based on Dean Jackson's 9-word email system. So if you don't know Dean Jackson, again, I'm bringing up again here, he has this 9-word email system, which is like, hey, are you still interested in blank? And then they respond back, and then you're like, great. And then you send them some more details, and then, they either become a client or they don't. And it works weirdly good. It's strange. You think it wouldn't work, but it really does. And it's just the most low-key offer system you can do. And that's it, guys. It's so simple. There's nothing too crazy here. This is really 2 or 3 emails, and then they become your client. So, where are we? So tying it all together, the next step is to tie everything together, and you can do this with most autoresponders. I like ActiveCampaign because it's relatively inexpensive and it's robust and it's very simple to use. But you can use Infusionsoft, Drip, ConvertKit, probably MailChimp. Actually, I'm sure you can with their automations. And the best part is you only create these campaigns once, and then they constantly work for you, and they literally become one of your biggest assets. So you get these done correctly the first time, and that's all you need. And as far as besides the autoresponder, for tech, you're looking at, you can use a WordPress website, which is pretty cheap and easy to use. You can use OptimizePress with WordPress. You can use ClickFunnels, which is like $99 a month, but it's so simple to use. You can use Lead Pages. You can use it's so simple. So let's just get right into the no pressure sales conversation. I'll try to go through the whole thing with you guys, or at least how it would typically go. But this is really a ton of training on itself. So we get into the pre-call preparation. So so if you're terrified of sales, this is for you. I was terrified of sales. That's why I wrote a book called Introverted Selling Secrets. And so there's a lot of bad information out there about sales. Like, you got to be hypey, you got to be super pumped up, you got to ask a million questions, you got to be able to talk a mile a minute, and it's all bullshit. What you need is a solid sales process to fall back on, and that's what I'm going to give you right now. So before the conversation, we want them to know, like, and trust us before they show up. We want them to know our price. We want them to know we can help them. And we want them to want what we've got for them before they show up. And we want to handle objections before they show up, which is all the job of the 3-phase client acquisition campaign. Of course, we want them to show up, which is just another part. So how do we get them on a call? You're probably wondering, what do I even offer to get people on a call, And this is the very best method I found is based on The Godfather. So here he is in this beautiful picture I found on Google. I'm going to make him an offer I can't refuse. So what offer could you make your perfect prospect that they couldn't refuse? Well, usually it's to help them for free. So, if you, I don't know, this is going to be different for everybody watching this because you all have different businesses. But, maybe it's to help them design, if you're a personal trainer, maybe it's to help them design a nutrition plan for free. Or if you're, if you're like an accountant, maybe you can help them plan their taxes for free, something like that. And you basically explain the benefits of your help, how it all works, So for example, I'm going to teach you how to ride a bike for free. And riding a bike is great. It's good exercise, and it's really fun, when you're not crashing and falling down. And basically how it works is you balance yourself and you pedal with both feet and you drive around, and it's really awesome. And then you tell them, why are you doing this? And it's like, well, basically, the reason why I teach people how to, I teach people how to ride bikes is because this is one of the ways I get clients for my bike riding service. Believe it or not. So this isn't the sales conversation, by the way. This is the offer that gets into the sales conversation. So next you eliminate their sales fear by just telling them, hey, there's no pressure to become a client. And if you feel like I waste your time at all, I'll actually pay you, which is like radical risk reversal. So hey, if there's no pressure to become a bike riding client of mine, and if you feel like I wasted your time, I'll actually pay you $50 just in the event it happens. And then the final steps are to take away and get them to qualify themselves, And you take it away, so basically saying, hey, I actually can't work with everybody. And in order for me to really help you ride a bike, you have to fit these 3 criteria. 1, you have to have a bike. 2, you have to know how to pedal. Or no, sorry, you have to be, under 10, I guess. That's a very weird qualification. You basically just qualify themselves. Okay, who are your perfect clients? This is when you think, who are my perfect clients? You just put these as qualifications, and then they apply. So the pre-call application, it helps you kind of vet out people who you can't work with, which you still send them free helpful content because they might be ready later. So, if they're brand new, for example, and they want the system from me, it's kind of a bit too much for them, but I'd still send them some helpful stuff. But the application kind of prepositions you as an authority. Your time is valuable. You're in demand. You don't just talk to everybody. And it basically saves you a ton of time, headaches, and a few heartaches. So here's how the sales call process works. So you get somebody on the phone, and it's okay. So you do a bit of small talk. So maybe for 1 or 2 minutes, you say, "Hey, John, how's it going?" "Oh, pretty good." "Yeah." Like, "Well, where are you calling from?" "Oh, they say they're calling from Bangladesh." And you say, "Oh, great." Nice. So, and they say, "Okay, well, in this call, what we're going to do is we set the agenda. So we got 30 minutes to talk here. So, why don't we just dive right into your bike riding problems?" Okay. And then you gather their information. So you start asking questions about their current situation. So remember when you go back to the value messaging system, they're at the spot where they don't want to be, and then there's a spot where they do want to be. You want to figure where they're at right now. So what are you right now? Like, okay, I have a bike, but I don't know how to ride it. This is just the most ridiculous example, by the way, but yeah, I have a bike. I keep falling down and hurt my elbows. Yeah, and it really hurts. So, and they're like, okay, yeah, you have a lot of bike injuries. That sucks. And then you basically determine their goals and their motivation. So, okay, so where do you want to be? So, I would love to be flying down the road, riding my bike with the wind blowing through my hair. That's my goal. So, okay, you know where they want to be. So if you're talking to a business, you would ask them financial goals, obviously. And if you're in a non-business kind of service, I guess, you talk about their emotional goals or something. You want to get like numbers here, though. So numbers are very important. So, if you're talking to a local service business, and you say, okay, you're at $10,000 a month right now. Where do you want to be revenue-wise within, let's say, 12 months from now? And they might tell you like 20,000. So okay, and then you can go into their motivation against a bit. So you can say, and like, why is that important to you? Like what is it about 20,000? And then they'll tell you a bit, and then it's okay, like, yeah, if I got to 20,000 a month, then I could afford a new car, and I could buy a dog. And then you just ask them about a bit more, and you say, okay, you get there. So now you kind of built a bridge. You have the data for a bridge, so you know where they're at, where they want to be, and you know why they want to get there. And then you're going to have to obtain emotional commitment of them. So you ask, okay, what is stopping you from getting there? And they'll tell you. So they'll tell you any number of things, but one of the three things we're looking for here is either they don't know how to do it, they want to get there faster, or they just want like a proven process to get there. So those are the three types of people you can help. Thought I turned off Skype. Anyway, so you want to get emotional commitment and it's really like, why aren't you there now? And they'll just tell you, okay. And it's okay, well, would you like me to tell you what I do? So you get permission to share. And they'll say yes. And then, now, if you're following my system and you tell them, if they know what your price is beforehand, you can actually just help them now. And you say, okay, this is what I do, and you get into all this. You actually help them. Maybe you're designing marketing programs for people, or maybe you're, to go back to fitness, you're designing weight loss programs or whatever, and you actually just help them. You just do some cool stuff for them for free, and you just say, hey, would you, we just designed this whole thing, would you like my help implementing that? And then they'll say yes or no, and you close. And there's a few more steps in here if they don't know your price beforehand, but I'm just not going to get into it. If you follow my system, that it'll kind of take care of itself for you. So that's not too scary, right? That was pretty easy. And that script, it just works like a charm. I have another glass of green tea here. So let's just get into the fulfillment backend and scale. So a lot of people, they talk about scale, like, oh, scale, it's really cool. And it is. So let's just talk about it now. So we'll jump into fulfillment first. So by now, you should have already accepted payments and you're onboarding your new clients. I'm sure this is just old news to you by now. But if you really want to go from like a freelancer to a service business, or if you just have like a done-for-you business right now and you want to grow that, it's super important to systemize your offer, which is why if earlier in this presentation I actually told you to write down 3 services you offer. The reason why you want to do 3 is because you can systemize every step of that and you can hire out to do that. So rather than continually offering one-off custom jobs, you're going to get a streamlined offer. And the cool part about that is you only focus on the results your clients get with this offer. So if you're like a web designer and one week you're doing a website for a construction company and the next week you're doing a website for like a freaking food truck, this is going to really limit your income, which is part of picking a niche. But also if like another week you're designing like an app or something, or your business is in shambles and you got to just focus. So your ultimate goal is to, if you have a done-for-you service, your ultimate goal is to streamline your offer as much as possible and basically take yourself out of doing the technical stuff so that all you're doing is whatever you're best at. For me, I like doing the actual marketing. I like designing the marketing campaigns and the offers and stuff like that. I love that. And the messaging, I like tweaking that. I'm just weird like that. I don't know why. And you eliminate as many unnecessary steps in your fulfillment process as possible, so you only operate in your zone of genius, quote unquote. So yeah, that's really if you want to be happy and have a lot of money. So backend, aka where the money is at. So again, I'm a big believer in keeping your clients happy, delivering enormous amounts of value, and creating lifetime customer value. And most people, they simply ignore the back end of their business and are only focused on getting more customers rather than servicing the ones they already have and delivering like awesome results. So we're going to talk about the back end a bit. So here are some questions to ask yourself. What services do you offer for monthly recurring revenue? While also providing value to the clients, if that's a thing. So if you're offering, I don't know. This is going to be different for literally every business, but there's always something you can offer. What business models could you adapt on the back end that makes sense with your current offer? So, if you're doing a group coaching, maybe it's a mastermind. If you're doing a done-for-you service, maybe it is a like a continuity thing or like a recurring revenue thing where you get paid a smaller amount every month to maintain or run traffic or something. And finally, how can you systematically get referrals and testimonials? So these are questions you really want to ask yourself, because it's really just going to grow your business that much faster, especially if you get people referring people into the system. And you can design it so it's viral, I guess, but that's kind of advanced. So what now? So now that you have your lead gen plus your client acquisition system handled, the next logical question is, how do I scale from here? So we'll talk about that a bit. So once you're 100% clear in your target market and your offer is just dialed in, you systemize everything you do into a step-by-step formula. It's time to start scaling. So you want to replace yourself because, if you ever think of selling your business and it's all you can't sell that business, right? So your most valuable asset is your time. And that's why you must begin replacing yourself, as soon as you can. So once you, the first step is just hiring more people to do the tech stuff for you. So all the stuff that just bogs you down. So, if you're a copywriter, but you also have to do web design stuff, just hire that stuff out so you can focus on your core skill. And next, once you systemize your offer, you hired out tech people, then you can start the cool part about this step is you can start only focusing on sales, but from there, where do you grow? Well, you have to get salespeople and managers and the whole works. So these steps are critical. But if you want to build a business that can run without you, which you do. So here's what we covered. So how to get clarity on your target market and your offer for them. How to create a valuable messaging sequence. The 3-phase client acquisition campaign. The no-pressure sales conversation, fulfillment, back-end, and scale. So you came here today, you sat through this whole webinar and you watched this, and you probably know by now that this can probably help for you, right? So if you're someone who can really help people and deliver good value to your marketplace, you might be wondering how you can implement all these strategies and tactics I just showed you quickly and easily. So what I just showed you is actually the exact system I personally use to attract clients. And if you'd like me to help you implement everything we've gone over, I'd be delighted. Here's how we'll do it. So the 3-phase client acquisition system: to attract clients, pre-qualified, pre-sold, wanting to work with you, onboard them in just 30 days. So if you want to build trust and authority, create a loyal following, build a strong brand, get a highly responsive list, build massive goodwill, and sell like crazy, this is specifically for you. Again, here's how we'll do it. So how it works is step 1, we go through the exact process we went over today. We identify your target market and your offer. We create your value messaging sequence. I create your 3-phase customer acquisition campaign. And we talk about your back-end profit maximizing. So your models and your different campaigns there. So we're going to discover who your best prospects are, so you can attract people most likely to buy. And we're going to craft an offer that's laser focused to your clients' needs, so that you can stand out from your competitors. And we're going to systemize your offer so you can scale down the road when you're ready. And you're going to stop being everything to everyone, so you can start commanding higher fees if that's you right now. And you're going to become an authority. This is the coolest part. You're going to become an authority to your niche without writing a book, becoming a public speaker, or being a guru. But yeah, the fastest way to do that is actually through this system. So with the value messaging sequence, we're going to create goodwill with your market by actually helping them, so you can actually continue to make offers down the road, and they'll just love you even more. And you're never going to be confused by what content you create, so you can stay focused on serving your clients now. And you're going to build a relationship with your clients before ever asking them for money, so you get a higher conversion rate. And you continue to make offers in a cool way, so you don't make people mad and pissed off at you, saying bad things about you on social media, that you're a jerk. And here's the 3-phase client acquisition campaign breakdown. So you'll get a campaign created for every type of prospect, so you can maximize your ad dollars. You're going to make sales 24/7, so you never have to worry about where your next client will come from. Sorry, that should actually say you're going to get leads 24/7. You'll have to close them on the phone. And you're going to know exactly how many clients you need to hit your revenue goals, so you can focus on expanding your business. So whenever you need more clients, basically just turn on the system and watch as your calendar fills up. And you can just say goodbye to chasing flaky clients. So now you can just pick and choose from only the best people to work with. And finally, you can earn the fees you deserve to have a system to hit your revenue goals, so you can have more freedom in your life. And for the back-end profit maximizing, you're going to get a profit maximizing campaign created for each of your customers, so you can continue to grow your business without spending more on ads. And we're going to implement a back-end model that makes sense for your business and helps double your profitability. So yeah, you're just getting the exact system I personally use to attract clients. The opt-in forms, the order forms. I set up the follow-up system, the autoresponders, and then I integrate everything so it just works 24/7. Next, I build your web pages, your opt-in pages, your video pages, your sales pages, your webinar pages, your upsell pages, everything. The final phase is the copy. Your campaign will come preloaded with my fill in the blanks copy templates. So all you do is edit my templates to be relevant to your business and you're good to go. This includes your email copy, your landing page copy, your sales page copy, your autoresponder copy, your VSL scripts, your webinar scripts, your opt-in copy, you name it. I've covered every angle so you don't have to, but it doesn't stop there. As a client, you get so much more. In addition to building your customized client acquisition campaign for you, I'm also fine-tuning your Facebook ads so you get an even greater return on investment, making each part of the system as flawless as possible. But there's still more. We even get together once per week for 3 months, and I personally help you tweak your offer and your copy. Plus, you can use these weekly support calls for help with anything else you need, and I'll also update you on cool new discoveries. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, here's the next step. So, just for a webinar funnel alone, this can often cost you between $5,000 and $15,000 plus royalties, and to hire a copywriter, it's expensive. That's what I used to do, just only VSLs, and you're looking at least another $5,000 just for a good video sales letter. And then I don't even know about tying it all together with automation. That's going to cost at least $3,000. So you're looking at $13,000 in total just for this. So the cost, what is it? Is this 2 payments of $4,750 or 1 payment full of $8,500? But of course, I don't expect you guys to just hand me the money now. I don't want you to. So I'm offering a free consultation session to see if we're a good fit. And on this session, I'm going to design a custom client acquisition campaign specifically for your business. We can use this time to talk about your niche, your offer, about anything that's going on in your business as well. And it's cool. So what you can do now is just go to www.benburnmedia.com/apply, and there you're going to see you'll be taken to my quick survey. Then I'll email you to schedule a call, and we'll just talk for a few minutes. I'll answer any questions you have, and if we're a good fit, you can become a client, and if not, there's no problem with that either. And so again, this is not a sales pitch in disguise. I actually do use my own formula here, There's no pressure to become a client, guys. There's no, I'm not going to, hard sell you. And in fact, at the end of our conversation together, you tell me, I've wasted your time. I'll immediately give you $100 as compensation. No strings attached. But there is a catch, of course. There always is. I can't help everyone. And in order for me to do this for you, you must meet this strict but reasonable criteria. First, you got to have a legitimate business. That means no get-rich-quick stuff or anything that's out of compliance with standard regulations. If you're selling a do-it-yourself meth lab or something, I don't think I can help you. I don't want to help you. Second, you must actually have a business. So what that means is, you need to be getting great results for your clients, and this usually means you have testimonials and stuff. So, So finally, you just need to have what I call forward momentum. So that means you're currently advertising, you're getting traffic, you're building a list, you're making sales, and you simply want more. That's it. So if this sounds interesting, here's what to do next. Below this page, you're going to see a button. Click it, you'll be taken to a brief questionnaire again, and it's nothing intrusive. It takes about 30 seconds to fill out, and it simply just helps me prepare for our session together, so I can, I can give you the most value. And then you're going to hear from me within 1 to 2 business days, or typically sooner, and we'll get on a 45-minute strategy session. And after that talk, one of 3 things will happen. So the first possibility is you love the blueprint, and you decide to do just build everything by yourself. If that's the case, I'll be thrilled. You're happy, and I'll wish you the best of luck, and we can part as friends, no problem. The next possibility is you love the blueprint I built, and you want me to build your campaign for you and implement everything. And if that's the case, I'll get started immediately, and we'll set up a time to discuss everything about your project. And the third scenario has never actually happened. That's the one where you just tell me, hey, Ben, you wasted my time, and the blueprint wasn't helpful at all. And if that happens, I'll immediately just give you $100, no problem. So clearly, you have nothing to lose by having me create a customized client acquisition system blueprint for you. And that's why you should go ahead, click the link below to get started today. So if you want to, build trust and authority, create a loyal following, build a strong brand, get a highly responsive list, build massive goodwill, and sell with zero pressure in just 30 days, go ahead to www.benburnmedia.com/apply now, and I'll be talking to you soon, guys. So, this is just a recap. You're going to get a 3-phase client acquisition if you go ahead and become a client. You're going to get the 3-phase client acquisition campaign. We're going to work on your offer and your copy creation. You get everything automated, so it works for you around the clock. And you're going to get Facebook ad support too. We can, that's also, there's there's more. But wait, there's more. So it's only 2 payments of $47.50, 3 easy payments of $3,500, or just save an additional $1,000 by making the 1 payment of $8,500, guys. So again, there is no pressure to become a client, but if this has been interesting to you at all, just go to www.benburnmedia.com/apply. So you watched this entire presentation, you want a system that automatically attracts clients, and this is an excellent value. Take advantage of this incredible opportunity now. Go to benburnmedia.com/apply, and we'll just send it there. If any questions and answers, now would be a great time, and I'll start answering them now.